a whole different comp, role changes on top of that, and an opportunity to get a lot of information with Corey on the Cypher and these two initiators.
We do see a little bit more of the Cypher, right? We saw EG pull it out yesterday, as the Des was saying, Stellar. And overall, Cypher can slow the game down. Let's just get that out, right? You have Koala Noob wanting to go wild here, get into places. You can start trapping it up, and you can already see playing off the traps. Corey's in A with the trap on B. Ghost look heavy elbow.
Even a bad start, though, for Ghost.
Ooh.
A push coming out from TSM. You saw the Viper Cloud missing even a top of Nest on the mid side, and that's going to allow TSM to get an early 4K into the round. The execution on the split did work out, and that also is a great read from TSM to pull out so many numbers on the B side to start.
Nobody had to move, and nobody was in a dangerous spot in A. The camera was in A. Actually, they just pinged it. Somebody just pinged that back right side, so seeing what they might want to get out of it, play towards that area, destroy the cam if it was seen early. Yeah, going to say what Ghost did there, they didn't, or sorry, TSM, they didn't have to move. And look at the rotation, right? Only a few people coming over when they needed it. The Cypher cam gave them all the info they needed, and instantly closed down on Ghost. Let's see what Ghost does. We know them for being fast. We're going to be screaming Nismo's name and Koalas throughout this, along with TSM in their round. So the action hasn't even started.
We'll still have to see, right? Because so far we're screaming a Prime Gaming flawless for TSM. No kills on the board yet for Ghost, as they're looking for a Marshall buy out of Koala Noob.
7.
And another named TSM that's going to start off lighting up the kill feed into this round. That's 7 with the first blood.
Slowing things down even more. Nismo maybe getting the next peek here and looking for see the double team there. They're looking for the quick 1-2s. Can they get Nismo on that next shot? They really don't want to give 7 another one. TSM scouts out. They're playing so patiently here. And again, the Cypher just allows them to sit back, take a breath, and play these hard angles.
Still have an opportunity to swarm the site, though, because it's 4 players remaining of Ghost getting into the B site where 7 is currently playing with Sabrosa on their own, and it's Sabrosa watching it from the wall. And finally, they both drop. This is an opportunity for a spike plan for Ghost, but going it against a 3 versus 2 retake, even a shock dart. Oh my god, it misses. That allows a plant coming in from Nismo, but at least there, a simultaneous kill coming out from TSM as they convert the pistol round to put 2 rounds in a row.
Interesting. They kind of have all the info grabbing on A site there. So if B does get taken with the forward positioning that TSM was playing there, Sabrosa and 7 go down, you darts to come back in. You can still move the cam if you do have to go coast to coast and wait for it. So TSM has a lot of retake capability here as well, which may be why they're kind of pushing everyone to a site and allowing Ghost to take that over when they find the lower numbers of TSM. Let's see if that changes with guns. We are in the bonus. It's going to be Sheriff Rosa and 7. What's he doing?
Still staying with the classic so far, but you can see it. The bonus round that they have for TSM, you talked about some changes. You wanted to know there was going to be some changes, Riv. And it's a solo play from Corey inside the B side from Cypher, a stack on the A side, and that's where Ghost is going to say, let's take mid-control first. 3 players moving up there, but still, it's going to be a patient play from TSM, maybe even more reactionary than anything else.
Such slow play. Great call on the movement of Corey. Let's go say mid. Maybe mid's where the traps won't be right away, and they're damn right. They get pretty good encroachment onto that castle area. Taking down 1 as Rossi falls, and that's been a big component of TSM getting back into sites. We just talked about that with his utility. So now it may be that final wall towards A. We haven't really seen Ghost play towards the Viper wall too much here, and this might be the first time they hit that site.
GMD is looking for information because they've lost a player. He's moving out towards the cave side, just spotted the dome of on Cutie. He at least turns for a 180 to get that frag onto Koala Noob. But it's still going to be Ghost taking advantage of the cave side, trying to get into the site. Beautiful flash, actually, did not give information away from the Allen Joan of Brock and forces all of Ghost to get back and rotate towards the B site. And with 27 seconds left on the clock, they have to be committed into this, right into the full kit of Corey when they're going to play the retake on TSM side.
Cameras there, they're going to know. Be privy to all of it as it comes through. Back and forth. They may not have the numbers here. This could be tough. Ghost is actually on a pretty good timing on this run. 7's going to do what he can to stop it. Taking a shot already.
Cutie's trying to save him. We're getting across. 7 gets the kill onto Nismo, but at least we get a plant for Ghost. That said, Sabrosa still moves in and lines up 2 kills. And it's TSM converting the bonus into that round, and that was a fast retake coming out there out of that defender side.
It absolutely was. 7 as well, putting himself in such a dangerous position, but it was backed up by TSM. They knew they were going in during the plant. It wasn't let plant happen and destroy their post plant. It was cause chaos while Ghost was trying to take the site. TSM is ready. They keep pulling the trigger. They lit the dynamite here, and they're just playing real good pressure. Cypher allows them the ease of movement around the map, so they can control Ghost a bit. And I think just what we've seen overall in the last few rounds, Vans, as we get into round 4 here, is that TSM is pushing. And maybe Ghost can start to absorb that, because the length of time Ghost took that round, they found GMD in caves.
Yeah. And Sabrosa, the supporting cast, also the fragger for that previous round. You saw that flash was really nice, but the Seekers also really helped TSM to go for that retake and plow against their opponents of Ghost, who are trying to get into the B side once again this round. Corey's getting pinged out, and it's going to be 2 nice openers for Ghost, actually. Upgraded weapons, a plant coming down, so we have a Vandal to work with, a Spectre on this mixed buy that we have from Ghost Gaming, and 2 rifles and not on an attempt of a retake. 7 with a nice shot from Berlin. GMD and 7 with the not left, half HP or even lower for 7. They're going to decide to pull back and save instead.
There's a little Ghost speed. After the first time we cast them, I tweeted, I was like, damn, that was a really fun team to cast. And we see them kind of coming online now. They put a little bit more gas there into that round, and they hit that Ghost speed. And it was on a low buy round, right? So it's not that they're not confident about this. It's just they haven't found the way through TSM defense until this round. They have a lot more to go through. TSM still with those first 3, and it looked confident. Let's see if Ghost can right the ship. They do stall out 7's operator, so they're going to have to be aware of that next round as they move around the map. See if Koala gets one of his own.
A good call to stay the op. That was a very heavy investment into round number 4. You're looking at the rest of the economy. It wasn't that great, so that could potentially help to build that economy a little bit more. Ross is the only one with the weakest bind with the Bulldog, and the rest is going to be looking pretty okay. Good utility for the rest of the defender side. So still not out of the frying pan for Ghost with a slower start.
Oh, this is a nice Proto purchased Qualanoob and op. They just dropped that operator to Brock. Interesting. See how this plays out. It's going to be another elbow play. This looks like Ghost pistol round with weapons.
Very interesting that he has the op and also the spike. There's got to be something else that they're going to try to do here for Ghost. It's the execution inside this B side, utility being used to start things off from Brock. But Glory still holds the back of the site at least for 1 kill only, as the rest are swarming in from both teams. Good trade-offs going in as Ghost takes the upper hand, leaving Sabrosa and 7 on a player disadvantage. And like we mentioned before, Ghost takes that site, but because Brock is using utility and an op, has not made it in with the spike yet. But after the wall comes up, Sabrosa gets the frag on 3 Proto, so that's a 2 versus 2.
Oh no, Vans. Literally the play is hold my op, and it's so far not going correctly. See if they can get this in and get the plant down. So Broza with the creep. He's had such a good game so far. He's going to be able to control now with a guiding light. Oh, and the shot to the back. Crossfire with utility and gunplay. TSM just seems to be on the ball right now, on the rotations, even if Ghost is trying to get in there pretty quick.
And Brock is definitely one of those players that in a clutch situation could get it done, but with an operator in hand, very difficult to do. And again, a beautiful flash coming out from Sabrosa after that frag in the back, just so that 7 could come in for that kill. And even if it doesn't show that there's an assist going up from that flash, you already saw it from the POV of Brock of how he broke his crosshair placement to try to win that duel against Sabrosa. So
sure.
Ghost in a situation where they could still buy, though, thankfully, with a Blade Storm attempt onto this A site, as you're going to see Qualanoob pick that up. And that's all thanks to that eco round, the lower buy that they had 2 rounds ago. But this also is a very low economy, very important round for Ghost on this attack.
And they continue to vary where they put Corey. You can get some super nerdy Cypher traps in A that you change around. It'll always hit your opponent. He's got one in the box right there that tethers to the ground. We see another one over by the left side. So expect somebody to get tagged if they don't see it right away. Ghost is in the site.
Yeah.
See what they can produce now that they've made it to plant. There's one tag. They know Nismo's in.
especially with the 0.2 that didn't actually ping out Corey. And the Seeker's coming out again. That's quick coming out from Sabrosa, allows Shock Darts to prevent that spike from going down. And all the rest of Ghost are still pinned out towards the main side. So they have to wait for the toxic screen to come back up again for Improto. Thankfully, they also have a Viper's Pit to work with. So they could put that up, push in together, get the Viper's Pit out, and hopefully get the plant in. But this is also going to be a timing where TSM is going to take that advantage to try to collapse into the site. You already see two players in the back. The toxic screen comes down. Close range battle as Koala lands it up to GMD. Corey then also to Improto as you see the Hunter's Fury coming out of the defender side. And now we're trying to battle back from Team Ghost with a flank coming in from Sabrosa, only leaving Brock on his own. The spike is planted. Sabrosa goes in for the individual play. Off the pop flash peek and gets the headshot for TSM. Riding up with the fifth score.
Fans, this composition looks so annoying to play against right now. Like, you're running into things. When is Ghost really, I mean, they're getting into the site, but when does it look like they're doing it on their own terms? They're getting the positions they want without getting tripped up, without getting pinged and tagged, and oh my, they're just smothered with utility. And then, when the round seems to be in the mix-up, the observers switch, and Sabrosa's on the flank again. Somehow, right on the heels of the opponents again, Sabrosa's there. Corey with some great frags inside the site here. TSM are just orchestrating this left and right. We're just a symphony right now. Looks great.
And for a team that's been undefeated so far for Ghost in this stage.
Yeah.
They're actually finding it very difficult to get some rounds out into their attacker sides to start. As back into a situation where we have a mixed buy, two Spectres and a Marshall. Recon Dart for a full-out hit in front of the site. 7 suppressed. Killed by Koala Noob as Sabrosa. Only good for 1.
See what they can do. Ghost has really good garrison here on B. Can they hold it?
A Proto bringing about the old school crosshair. Shows the reason why he's bringing it out. Nice little headshot going around the corner, and a second one onto Rossi, leaving GMD on his own. Spike is now down, 53 seconds left on the clock. Now as GMD is going to try to play behind a Proto's wall. Walks out of it. No surprise kill going on there. Beautiful round for a Proto as Ghost, another Thrifty to get the second round.
I think he was hoping that was Sova Brock he was going to be finding there on the corner, and not a Proto. What shots from a Proto. Everybody coming together for Ghost here to string these rounds in, and TSM is trying to set up a strong defense. Ults abound on this round. I cannot wait to see how this one plays out. It looks like Ghost will start to go back to the right side. They have not been a team that preemptively just sets up the Viper wall and then will end around. They've been holding it for quite a long time here. Not even really setting up a think about this, and we'll kind of, oh my, 7. Maybe they don't have a chance to think about it, Van Silly. Maybe they don't have a chance.
Yeah, just a lot of utility being used to spot so many opponents. GMD's just levitating his gun. I don't need to shoot anybody. I'll just chill in my pit as everybody else is fighting towards that mid side.
The round is chaos. GMD is chaos. TSM is thriving in it right now. And they've just answered the wall when Ghost does decide to use it. We were just talking about that with a Viper's Pit. Well, good luck using that. And now they're pinched into their own base, almost where they've got.
With the neural theft, they were already spotted here for Ghost, so the angles are being watched, as you can see from Corey. They don't really have an opportunity to smoke for a cross back for a Ghost, so you just have to try to fight in as much as you can, or try to save your weapons, and it's going to be the first option that they try to do here for Ghost Gaming, and he even gets pinged for a second Recon Dart going into that round, and TSM, they hold it strong with this Prime Gaming Flawless.
And that means economy build, too. If you getting Flawlesses on buy rounds for both teams, that means they are going to start mounting so much money that Seven can push these plays. If he goes down, I buy an up next round, right? Everybody's moving forward. The economy brings confidence. Team brings confidence. TSM seems to be breathing that right now. See what they have for the next one. Let's focus on Ghost here as they do call a timeout. It's been kind of a lot of just being read by what Sabrosa, Rossi, and Corey bring to the table.
Yeah.
You have not initiators, right? Because Cypher is a sentinel, but you get all that intel that you need in a comp that would bring triple initiator, basically. So they have that to work around and move the map. So how does Ghost avoid that? You can't get as close as you would to a Cypher on split to break his traps. It's kind of in the moment. So maybe they focus on, do you waste Brock's utility on that, right? Would it be a waste? Do you start playing halls more and hope that you avoid the trap and maybe get more solo fights to start? Because it seems like TSM is able to collapse so quickly with all the information they have. Ghost has to somehow find the 1v1s.
It's been a couple of rounds, too, when they're trying to hit towards the A site that it's been met up by GMD's playstyle. And after he's used the Viper's Pit, he doesn't have too much to work with. And also, Ghost have found success off Thrifty's full executions. So potentially into this round, coming back from the timeout, full execution as a team into the A site, where they have to battle against only one player, at least to start here on the TSM side. That's going to be toxic screens on both ends just to try to delay if they can. And even a Viper's Pit to go for the plant. So this is actually going to be pretty decent in this, again, another half buy that you have for Ghost.
One of the first times they've made it into sight for the 5v5 post-plant fans. And it's something you get on Breeze a lot with the distance. All the utility you create. And this is where Ghost could really start to turn things around. They need to make a dent on TSM.
And the Seekers is not going to do too much because everything was blocked by the Viper's Pit from Proto. But here comes the ultimate out from Nismo, from the KO of Nismo. That's also going to prevent any utility to go into the Viper's Pit as well. But Sabrosa gets a nice one onto Koala Noob. The Hunter's Fury coming out from the attacker side as well. The push coming out from TSM. Beautiful flash from Sabrosa as they're still trying to push down towards the team. Nice shot from John Cutie. A second one through the smoke. As that's not going to be enough time for the spike as it goes off, but at least GMD makes it flashy before he falls.
And that's, imagine, if Ghost had lost one person on the way in, they would not have won that round. That's the round they got in without losing anybody. A Proto gets out alive. It still stings. They lost a lot of people, so they're still working against TSM here. Pretty tough in that economy zone, but that's where they turn it around. That's what I said. They get in. Great use of ultimates, denying this team that can basically see you through every wall, it's TSM, and getting themselves around. It seemed so hard right now against this agent composition. But Ghost are finding a way, and it looks like it may be another A play where they smother again. This time they do have the Halls player.
Important round for both of these teams. The economy is pretty low for most of the players. 8 out of the 10 inside the server right now. The TSM losing this one will at least give a 2-round bonus to have a little bit more of that econ, but still Ghost. They're going to be the one that's going to try to press quickly. Back into the A site by opening the door. John Cutie gets a nice first blood through the mid double doors. Plant coming in towards the A site. A flank coming in. Waited this time. Nismo against Sabrosa. It's going to be Nismo that's going to take the upper hand.
I like a little bit of a change by Ghost here as Koala goes down to a shock dart. They played until vision, basically. Play until contact, then they made the move, then they put up the wall.
Yeah, this is not going to be easy. You already had the fragment on the ground. You also had a Proto, actually, that was trying to play the pulse plan, but he just got picked out. So, actually, it's starting to become a little bit doable if you can win these duels. Losing to get one, but at least it gets traded out. Now even harder for Corey. You hear that ticking on the spike. It's probably going to go off. And Ghost should be taking this round, but that could have been a very close call after a Proto dying on that main side from Corey.
Another great round from Ghost, and they're coming away with more each time, right? They're figuring it out, coming online. It seemed to be a little bit of rust at the beginning of this game, but we know they were much better than what they were showing us. The juices are flowing now for Ghost. Bringing that close to a 6-6 TSM, like you said, is going to be on a bit of a low buy and also a timeout to figure how they can make the most of this. Sabrosa, 16-5, and imagine if that hasn't been happening. Right? He has had so many flank shutdowns, so many shutdowns in the beginning. The guiding light information, everything that this guy's been doing on the sky has been so much for TSM this time, and a lot to shut down Ghost.
And Sabrosa with the score that he has so far, I could be mistaken, but I think it's like 3 Seekers that he already activated in the first half in 10 rounds. So that's actually pretty good for all that information, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ghost they got to feel good, though. And there, TSM here trying to kind of cut that down and see how they can get back into this. John Cutie with some real nice frags previously. It's taken the team effort here for Ghost to start to come online.
Yeah.
Koala Noob has had a few plays of his own, but mostly shut down. As we see, 7 making a few more plays, having the ult come online a bit more. The frags will lead to that, and that's what kind of makes the ultimate game a little more tough. Rossi's close to his. Koala 2 off, almost just on deck for those two as we start off round 11.
Yeah, and a rough start for Ghost, but salvaging the remaining rounds of the first half so far in a good spot to potentially make it 6-5. Because we have a low buy from TSM, we do have a trademark early around the corner, but 7 is going to get punished. On the other end, though, on the elbow support and from A main side, TSM takes the upper hand in the player's advantage with these 2 kills that they've just gotten, leaving John Cutie, Nismo, and Brock to salvage the round for Ghost if they can. Trailblazer to find information, knowing now that Sabrosa's playing just behind the pillar, but John Cutie is also low on HP.
Seeing one. Comms back and forth here. Ghost still pressuring. They're going to leave John Cutie just to watch that flank. You were mentioning one more coming over. Corey is going to be holding the flank, so nobody's really full rotated yet. They still think this could be something at A. GMD is going to snuff that out, though.
And after that kill in his Seekers, that also activates GMD on this flank. 42 seconds left, as he's actually not going to be able to see John Cutie. So even if he gets a nice pinch towards this A side, there's still another pinch that can happen coming in from mid side from John Cutie as well. So pay attention to both of these roamers. And now you hear the utility.
Left.
They think that the A side is clear, but now you're going to hear the rotation coming out. So TSM's going to do the same thing. And waited by GMD. That's 1 shot, and that's 2 shots. The spike goes down, and that's a round guaranteed for TSM.
Oh, you dream about those. You dream about them, and he hits both. Just one calibration or 2 in there in between.
Left.
And man, it's Christmas for GMD and Byspawn over there at the attacker side. John Cutie now, he's like, hey, I am way in out of position. I mean, I'm out of position. He's going to try to save here, and you think he's going to be able to do that. Ghost should have a bit of money coming into this one. TSM's timeout definitely paying off there as they're able to shut down Ghost right away. The first shot by Sabrosa in this other one to drop Koala Noob, who was coming out on his dash. That was huge.
And John Cutie thought that he was the one that had the timing there to be able to clear that A site, opening the door, realizing nobody's there, and that forced a rotate out of Ghost. But yeah, a very nice thrifty round coming out from TSM. And this round, we're going early. So Broza looking to flash around the corner for information, and he's going to get it, but Koala Noob's waiting around the corner. We're looking for the trade-offs, and it'll work out. Still, Koala Noob activating the Blade Storm, gets the headshot onto 7, and now we've sworn inside the B side, for Ghost with the plant.
This is the kind of spice I thought would be getting it at the beginning of each round, right? Line of scrimmage, well, both teams are there to butt heads. It's that wall drops. Pushed by a Proto to get another one from elbow.
With one more to go, Corey's stuck. Literally between a rock and a hard place, gets the first kill, but that's going to be it. 7-5 to start the first half in this series between TSM and Ghost. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, we will resume the second half of Breeze. We started out the half with Ghost playing very slow, trying to gather some information, but it's been greeted by a lot of flashy plays, literally by the pop flashes of Sabrosa, and some great opening kills from 7 on the defender side. But yet, here we stand, still a 7-5 scoreline for TSM, where Ghost brought it back. And let's see what they could do here on the defender half for Ghost.
What is the first move? What's the last move? Ooh, a lot of all passes being given out round 1 here. And they actually have the wall only past safety right now. They have to be careful. Oh my gosh. Everybody bails out of this one for now.
Yeah, it almost felt like we wanted to get spotted by their recon darts and go for the double swing. So we have players from Ghost that are low HP, but GMD still pushing forward towards orange. As Brock now on low HP as well, waiting for the rotations from John Cutie and a Proto, all the way coming out from mid side NB. Spike has now been planted, very forward positions from TSM to cover the spawn rotation on the defender side. Sabrosa's the one at the staircase. First swing coming out, the dink, and a Proto wins that fight. John Cutie clearing the corner, but that crossfire is there.
One enemy remaining.
And then after that, Brock a little bit off timing, trying to moving out with his teammate. Dropping down here, now spotted and melted by the frenzy of GMD as TSM picks up the pistol.
Nice little timing on a lot of Hall chaos, and then you just saw 7 walking into sight. And kind of taking advantage of this point where, okay, the round is a bit in motion, nothing's happened doors, and he plays the timing where eyes were peeled, looking cave, looking halls. You're like, wait, 7's in sight, and he's looking at 3 members of Ghost right now as they're peeling off ramp and bridge. So just great positioning and kind of read there by TSM on where Ghost might be for their first round strategy. And that's 8-5 for them to start. Bulldogs across the board almost, except for Corey Spectre. A Marshall Kuala-Nuke to try and tack on some damage for Ghost here. They set up the defensive KO chamber on that A side. Looks like they're going to have Brock leaning right now. And they want Kuala-Nuke to do some damage in mid. See if he keeps pressing W.
Yeah, the strategy always seems to be putting these lower buys for Ghost, but at least a Marshall in the hands of Kuala-Nuke.
Right.
Into this round could pepper a little bit and a right-click classic, hopefully do something else for Ghost. But a Trailblazer from Sabrosa clears out Nismo, forces him back on the defender side, back towards mid doors. And we do have TSM pushing inside the site. Just around the corner behind this toxic screen is going to be the headshot greeted by John Cutie. The headhunter spotting the second one and force a TP away, but somehow the spike falls down. Courtesy of Nismo with a second kill, and pings are coming out too. He's got a knife to work with, the underhand flash, the right-click classic again to Sabrosa. A triple kill with only classics. Corey's on his own, a 5 versus 1. Somehow could become a flawless round, but Corey is trying to save the day. A straight transfer for the second kill onto Nismo, and he's backpedaling away with only 11 HP left to go. 30 seconds left, spike is down, and that was a great hold from Ghost.
Amazing hold. Nismo kind of getting a little fire under him on that one. The 3K with the classic. And it looks like this may be a gun pickup if there's a Bulldog in range, but there's too many eyes between that Bulldog.
3 out of 5.
Oh, maybe not. Corey
10
feels like he can
seconds
take John Cutie out. Almost looking for a 4K. Koala ends that one. Great damage from both sides with the win for Ghost.
Here.
And the second round for Ghost. Great job to pick up that.
Third thrifty now in this map for Ghost Gaming. That's pretty much what's saving them these rounds so far, because that's 2 pistol round that was won here on this map by TSM. Bonus rounds doesn't work out.
One enemy remaining. 10 seconds left. Thrifty.
Wow. I mean, everybody actually had a kind of a good feeling round on that one, especially just to pick it up. So, see if we have a little more vim, vigor, vitality coming out of Ghost. There goes Quality with W pressed down. He will start to deploy that aggressive strategy. Just behind him was the arrow of Brock, giving him a little bit of help. Now he's in no man's land. This could get a little tougher, but I feel like TSM knows they're under a bit more pressure.
See the alert coming out from Corey, and that's being watched now by John Cutie as well with the Vandal, focusing just on that single angle so that Kuala-Nuke could actually look down towards mid. Alondrone will spot a few players, and that's going to be the cue here for TSM to book it through the hallway side, forcing potentially a rotation, but the battle is not won by Corey by elbow. Shot darts utility to push back TSM as they see them running away, and the shot still connects from Brock.
Right in the cheek, Sabrosa goes down.
Door opens up.
Hit him in the leg?
Rossi's
Oh my
ballsy
God,
on that
Brock.
one to jump out of the door. The right-click classic for the kill, but leaving 7 on his own, forcing the first tailwind to get activated. And looking for the dash away, or at least a headshot. Does get a little bit of chip damage through the pyramid.
30 seconds
And that,
left.
as it gets canceled out, is just going to hold back his angle. And you know that Ghost is going to try to hunt him down, so he's just going to try to do some flashy kills. Hurt some econ if he can. There's that 145 to the connection with the second kill. And Nismo falls.
We're eating. Saying we're eating tonight.
10 seconds left.
Almost. Had that timer against him, but
Gun here.
again, though, another one of those rounds that I expected to see this entire series. Let's get more of that. Spice from both teams. Ghost coming up. They seem to be floating a little bit better now and getting those shots in. They would trade with TSM. I think that's one of the things we saw a lot last time we kept Ghost was they would be on each other's back for the 1-2 trade or the crossfire trade, and there was just a lot of cover of each position just like that. Now they start to turn it, almost bringing it to the tie game of 8-8 when it seemed like TSM has had a lot of just control over this game, Van Silly, but it's incredibly close.
Trying to wait behind the spawn site to avoid the KO knife. It's not been thrown yet by Nismo. He's looking for the timing after Kuala-Nuke is playing the first cheeky angle here from the B main side. Now as he guns away, you'll see this knife should be coming in soon as the Trailblazers coming out from Sabrosa. The execution's also going to be coming in from this B site. And John Cutie still lands the headshot before he gets blinded. Kuala-Nuke's in the back of the site. John Cutie's doing as much as he can to start and has delayed enough time here for at least more cavalry. Brock has moved in inside the B site to support Koala Noob on this 4 versus 2 advantage for Ghost. Nice little leap lurk around the corner, and a jump shot missed by Koala Noob as Corey gets the kill. Aldron to come out. Corey gets the second one, but a Proto swings out for the trade, and just like that, Ghosts have tied up the game.
We're getting them. Gloves are off now. It is just push through, get the fights. We saw some awesome stuff on that round. I love the way that they're able to control. On the way into the site, you saw Brock hitting shots. Koala Noob was there. 8-8. And they pulled the trigger. They tried to go fast on that round as they got into the site. Timeout? Nope, clock's still ticking. So that cuts down to another round for TSM on a bye. They're on eco. Operator in the hands of Koala Noob. It looks like mid will be gained once again by TSM, but what? How far can they go before they find that operator shot?
It's a very, very meticulous round for TSM. Looking for this pressure on this mid side. And a fake out from this poison orb is trying to force a couple of players away potentially from the B side so we can lurk back on to B main. But instead, TSM are just going to opt back to just split into this A site. 2 players waiting there here for Ghost.
The holds. Everything kind of has a drop back position too. See where Nismo's playing. He can kind of drop back into spawn. He's got a trademark. Hallway. Oh my gosh, just to the back of the site. TSM are doing a 2-3 mid.
Brock is trying to find at least something from above the wall. The recon dart to get some information. The Viper's pin to come out. The recon dart pings them. We're trying to get the spray. Does not work. Corey saves at least the Viper's pit. John Cutie, though, continues with the kill as GMD continues to get pinged in there. Nice little underhand as Rossi pings on the timing to try to get the kill. But Dismal denies him. Corey on a 3 versus 1. At least they get a plant here for TSM on their lower buy. But it's Ghost taking a lead in this game.
Demanding a bit more respect on their takes on their firefights. Nismo coming up huge there. The rest of the team hitting their utility to make sure they could hit the shots as well. And TSM getting a little snuffed out as they get into the sites. We see Corey in a lot of these situations, and not a problem being the last one alive because he's trying to control the utility and give the info, and then he comes out of cam and he's like, Wild West, I have 5 people surrounding me. Where's my team? It got quick here. This was pretty cheeky. Great job by GMD to come out with a few more seconds on that Viper's pit, but all for naught. Ghost aim is on now. We're back to guns. 7 with the operator. Let's see if he can get into position, or will they find Koala Noob right away? It's dueling Blade Storms, dueling operators. Be a pretty spicy round. Dueling Hunter's Fury. Let's go.
Viper's pit early here, coming out from a Proto on the A side. So that's going to slow things down for a bit. And that's going to force TSM to get information somewhere else. The Allen drone coming out of elbow. So we'll take the time a bit as the Allen drone spots 1 player in the back of the site. That's John Cutie, and that's what I wanted to mention. As these highlight reels, the presentation of this matchup is always about Nismo. He's actually at the lowest, at the bottom of the board, and it's really everybody else stepping up to the plate in this game so far. From John Cutie to Brock to a Proto to Koala Noob, it's been working out.
Such slow play. I mean, John Cutie just a few rounds ago got that first shot on 7 coming in, right? Stared at the guiding light until it went off. A stone cold shot. You love to see that from these players. He had an easy drop off the back of the shot anyways. They can stay in those positions to hopefully be safe, but 7 with a quick hit on Nismo as he was getting up onto that wall. And now it's going to be the hit coming in for TSM.
John Cutie that has to come up big here as TSM comes in for that frag. Traded out by Brock, but that's, again, the B side being toppled down. And unfortunately there you wanted something to come big out of John Cutie, as we just mentioned them, as they lost that player early inside that B side from a nice pick from 7. So that's going to force the last 2 players to save overall here for Ghost. At least they salvage the op for the next round.
Pushing over. For TSM, kind of smothered this one down. The timeout, partial away. Throw out a timeout, actually. I thought it was timeout again. But just this round, they find Sabrosa going down, but 7 with the op, being able to open. How long did they work mid? I think GMD and maybe it was Corey were in double doors looking towards A. So many possibilities could have happened for TSM this round if it just wasn't 7 shot start on Nismo over towards that B site. That's just where they decided to go, and it feels like that's the way they're going to play against Ghost right now, is encroach on space, get as far as they can, get those shots, and then catch Ghost in their rotation, because it seems like that's where they're having the most advantage for TSM.
And the play here for Ghost in that previous round too was having that op on the top of Pyramid from Koala Noob looking down that mid side, as you mentioned, this creep up from TSM. And as he missed that first shot, it's like, all right, team, get ready for that B side, because we have A on lock. We got a Viper's Pit in there, man. But it's still going to be 7 with the opening kill. Sometimes what you have planned, you just get hopped down by a Jet. Not going to be the easiest way to win. Rappel coming up.
Yeah. Still 4 ultimates for Ghost here. 2 for
Poison's
TSM.
off.
One of them being used right now, as you see John Cutie on the overlay, only with a pistol, of course, because he has the sort of force to work with. Hunter's Fury to come out as we talk about the second ability that gets actually the tag and kill onto GMD. That's huge. No screens coming out for executions anymore here for TSM, so you have to be on point with the flashes of Sabrosa and Rossi. I don't know if they're going to try to slow it down and wait for the second flash to get ready so they could actually press a little bit more through Seekers and the Hunter's Fury as well.
They go out on the drill. Oh my, you're using the Hunter's Fury up the gut is basically that distraction to get into the site, Van Silly. It's working. Oh, it was working.
Until Koala Noob is there with the Blade Storm right between the eyes of Sabrosa, eliminating the possibility of bringing out the Seekers. But Seven has something else to say. He's in towards this A main side, gets 2 kills with the Operator, and that activates Tailwind, but Koala Noob's on the other end. Another kill coming down as the spike is stuck towards Brick. The headshot onto Rossi, leaving Corey on the flank, on the lurk, and they're expecting this for Ghost. Look at the rotation, the pings coming out, and it's going to be the responsibility of Brock to watch it. He loses the fight. 20 left, but again, another one of those dire situations where there's no spike. So Corey is hoping for some mistakes, and no mistakes will be made here as John Cutie picks up the last kill, and Ghost are back in the lead.
It's impressive how much Corey can still get frags in those situations, and not coming up with the win sometimes, but 1 or 2 is great. Ghost, though, they come up with the round. That's what matters. 10-9 for them, as they have been battling back this game, Van Silly. They're finding their footing in the first few rounds. You thought this was TSM's map. The way they were running around the map, shutting down Ghost, the way the Cypher composition was not allowing Ghost to play any bit of their own pace on attack. Now on defense, Ghost can find their pace. Koala Noob can get some more pushing in, even if he takes a blind to the face and get some frags.
He's also being spotted by a couple more players trying to work towards this A main side, but it's just going to be quiet because they've lost Sabrosa once again. And one of those tough situations, Riv, because when or if you've been watching the stream before this matchup starting, we had actually the highlight interview with Sabrosa. He's like, we're one of those teams that keep losing these eco rounds, yet we're still able to fight back. And TSM are fighting back indeed. 2 players now dropped inside this A side. Koala Noob still on the left side of the pyramid, trying to go head-to-head against Corey. As the second player is dancing around. Rossi trying to land that shot onto the mid double doors. As Nismo still trying to get the information, but finally he gets picked off from the cancellation of the null command. Koala Noob in a tight spot with no tailwind. Crossfire set up as John Cutie lands the second kill. And a Proto sweeps up the last one, and there you go. So to talk again about these eco rounds, that's 3 rounds, or 3 out of the 4 ecos that Ghost has gotten this map so far.
It's a switch up, right? I think TSM made a deal with the devil, and they're like, we'll take pistols for ecos. So now TSM gets the pistol rounds, but there'll be a few ecos in there they have to tread on. So, no. All jokes aside, Ghost absolutely playing the patience here. I mean, you just saw 7 racking shot after shot, and still Koala Noob took a breath, creeped those angles, only gave a shoulder. Then he actually played the backwards peek, where you're peeking at a backwards diagonal angle to be even slower as you creep to the left, and that's what able to catch 7 shoulder in cave. The little things you love to see as Ghosts come online. And here's that TSM timeout, so they didn't call one earlier, for sure. It's setting up. Maybe find Koala, slow their game down, right? Because TSM is now kind of getting pressured into getting their own medicine, for lack of a better way to say it, from what they did to Ghost in the first half. And Ghost, we know, have a W skill set. They can go forward, and it just seems like they're able to really pressure that game style on defense now.
But the other thing is also to consider the composition that TSM's running. Again, having a Cypher in command in the hands of Corey is like, okay,
Yeah.
well, usually when you have a Cypher on this map, he's going to have to try to lurk somewhere, force rotations. But
That's true.
in a lot of these situations where TSM are hitting sites and they lose, Corey's still a little bit too further back to
Yeah.
try to get
Ghost
that
isn't
pinch.
flanking.
Exactly. So they have to try to coordinate that a little bit more from TSM, and we're hoping to see that coming out of this
Great point.
timeout.
Standing ahead.
Into this round, though, a lower buy. Marshall into the hands of Rossi, and they're just looking for an all-out and all-in into the B side, starting off with elbow control. Koala Noob, though, not affected by the flash, continues to push forward. Al's over to John Cutie. Oh my god, somehow
Timing.
lands that shot onto Corey as he gets pinked. That, he's able to TP away. Fragment in the front. Sevens made into the site with another player, and that's at least GMD trying to get a plot down if he can, but John Cutie has something else. Another answer back onto Rossi as we have one up drafting towards the air. And GMD stuck on his own. Back of the site, a little bit of love taps into the body of his opponents, but no kills as Ghost are now at map point.
Even if
Match
found
point.
out, like you said, Koala Noob still creates that pressure. He wants to see who's there. He wants them. He wants TSM to know he's there. That guiding light hit. He said, well, you don't know it's me. Let me make sure you know it's me. And that's such a cool way to play. Double operator coming out for the last round here of Ghost. Unless they had it last round, things are just happening right now for them. They have banked so much. Doesn't really matter what they buy here in the possible last round of Breeze.
And going into this round as a double operator setup on defense here. John Cutie and Koala Noob both at each extremities as Koala Noob was trying to go for that forward position into the A main side. Even you have a KO knife that went all the way from B to A. That spots nobody there, so we're going to have the stack into the B side. Two players there as John Cutie is forced to TP away from the Seekers. Now Nismo's on his own with two flashes and his own life, but it's his own life with a Vandal, and that's good enough to hold the site for 3 kills somehow. The spike is now down. Sabrosa's left, and he's down. Prime getting flawless for Ghost Gaming as they win the first map 13-9.